All right, so we will get started on our backs. And like I said, I'm not going to have any music, so if you want to turn on your own music, you are more than welcome to. So we'll get started on our backs in bridge pose here. Knees are bent, pointed up towards the ceiling. Our hands are down on the mat. And we're just going to close our eyes and take a few breaths here. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, blowing all the air out. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, I'd invite you to do that now, or if you'd like to dedicate your practice to someone, you can do that as well. We'll just take a few breaths here. And slowly we're going to roll ourselves over to one side and press ourselves up to a comfortable seated position. Coming up, you can just go ahead and cross your legs here and close your eyes. Bring your fingertips out to the mat on either side of you. And inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, and as you exhale, bring them down to your heart center. Once again, inhaling, reaching your arms up to the sky, and exhaling, bringing them down to your heart center. Inhale, arms reach, and this time we'll drop our right hand down to the side of us as we reach over with our left arm here. Reaching out long through the left fingertips. Inhale ourselves back up to center. Exhale, left hand drops, reaching over with the right fingertips, reaching out. Making sure we're keeping our chest open and lifted here. Inhale, arms reach. Exhaling over to the left or over to the right. Inhale, arms reach. Exhaling over to the left. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, your hands to prayer. And we'll go ahead and uncross and recross the legs the awkward way. And we're going to inhale our arms up to the sky, and as we exhale, we'll twist over to the right, twisting our torsos to the right, while still keeping our spines nice and long. We're going to place our left hand outside our right knee, and we're going to place our right hand on the ground behind us. We're reaching up nice and tall here, lifting up through the crown of the head. Taking a breath here, trying to twist yourself a little bit deeper. And inhale yourself back to center, arms reach. And we'll exhale over to the left this time, twisting our torsos to the left, placing our right hand outside of that left knee, left arm is back behind us. Sitting up nice and tall here, lifting through the crown of the head. Using our breath to try and twist a little deeper to the left here. And inhale back to center, arms reach. And this time as you exhale, begin to fold forward over your legs. Once your hands place on the ground, try and walk them out a little further, pulling yourself deeply into this forward fold. Using your breath, you'll inhaling to lengthen your spine, exhaling to draw your nose a little closer to the floor. Really gripping those fingertips with the floor and using that to pull yourself deeper into the stretch here. And slowly we'll walk our hands back, walking ourselves back up to a seated position. And we're going to turn our bodies coming over into tabletop position, hands and knees. Taking a moment to check our alignment here, making sure our wrists are below our shoulders, our knees are below our hips, our belly button is pulled into our spine, and our back is long and flat from the crown of our head to our tailbone. And in this position here, we're going to keep our hips stacked directly above the knees, and very slowly we're going to begin walking our hands forward, coming into puppy dog pose. And in this puppy dog pose, you're going to let your chest melt towards the ground, and you can either bring your chin or your forehead towards the ground. You're welcome to try it both ways and see which way feels better to you. Really pressing our chest towards the ground, letting our bodies melt into the mat. And slowly we'll start walking our hands back to that tabletop pose. Pressing firmly into the palms here, opening the fingertips, spreading the fingers wide, pressing our palms into the mat. We'll take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to draw our belly buttons into our spine, draw our chest or our chin into our chest, arching our back as much as we can, coming into cat pose. And as you inhale, let your belly drop, raise your sternum, open your throat, coming into cow. And sit back on your heels to child's pose. Reaching your fingertips out far in front of you. Inhale here. Use that exhale to draw yourself up through tabletop position all the way to cat. Pulling your belly button into your spine, arching your back. And then gently on your inhale, letting your belly drop, raising your sternum, opening your throat to cow. And sitting back on your heels to child's pose. And go ahead and take a few more flows like this with your own breath, as fast or as slow as feels good to your body. Really over-exaggerating the movements here to get the most out of the stretch. Exhaling to that cat pose. Inhaling to cow. And sitting back on your heels to child's pose. And the next time we come to child's pose, we'll hold for a moment. Pressing into the fingertips, maybe even walking the fingertips a little farther out in front of you, really gripping the mat. Trying to get yourself as deep into the stretch as you can. Taking an inhale here and using that exhale to draw yourself up to tabletop position. Tucking the toes. We'll hover the knees just an inch above the ground for bear pose. And then bending into the knees, we'll press our chest back towards our thighs for a halfway down dog. And slowly pedaling the feet, lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Go ahead and take a few moments here in this down dog to continue pedaling the feet. If you'd like to sway the hips from side to side, you're welcome to. Eventually find stillness in your dog. Make sure you're pressing deeply into your hands, pressing your chest back towards your thighs. And slowly we'll start bending into the knees, coming through that halfway down dog position. Hovering the knees above the ground for bear. dropping the knees for table, and sitting back on the heels to child's pose. Taking an inhale here, and as we exhale, drawing ourselves up to table, tucking the toes, hovering the knees for bear, pressing our chest back towards our thighs for halfway down dog, lifting our hips for downward facing dog, bending into the knees for halfway down dog, hovering the knees for bear, dropping the knees for table, and sitting back on the heels to child's pose. And one more time, we'll inhale here, use that exhale to draw ourselves up to table, tuck the toes, hover the knees for bear, press our chest back towards our thighs for halfway down dog, and lift the hips up to downward facing dog. And we'll take a few breaths here, really pressing into the hands, spreading the fingertips wide, pressing our chest back towards our thighs. And we'll look forward between the hands and keeping our legs as straight as long as we can. We'll start tiptoeing our feet up towards the top of the mat, coming into forward fold. And bend the knees as much as you need to really deepen that forward fold. If you'd like to grab your elbows, you can, and sway from side to side. Maybe you'd like to let your hands hang down for ragdoll. You're welcome to grab behind your calves or your ankles to pull yourself deeper into this forward fold. Just do whatever feels good to your body here. And then slowly we'll press the hands into the shins as we begin lifting ourselves up halfway, straightening the legs, straightening the back, long flat spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Exhale back to that forward fold. Place your hands on your hips, lift your elbows, lift your chest, lift your chin as you come up with a flat back here. Inhale, arms reach up, and exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up, and as you exhale, swan dive down to that forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold. Reverse swan diving up with a flat back here. Exhale your hands to prayer. Inhale, arms reach up. And as you exhale, we'll come up on the right toes and we'll twist open to the right. Right arm is back, left arm is forward here. Inhale, coming back to center, right heel places. Come up on the left toes, twisting over to the left. Left arm back, right arm forward. Inhale, back to center, left foot places. Exhale, swan diving down to that forward fold. Halfway lift, hands on shins or on the floor. Forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan diving up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, arms reach. This time on your exhale, you can come up on the right toes, or if you're ready for a little bit more, you can begin lifting the right knee, twisting open to the right. Right arm is back, left arm is forward. Inhale, back to center, right leg places. Come up on the left toes or lift that left knee, twisting over to the left. Left arm back, right arm forward. Inhale, arms reach, place the foot. Exhale, swan diving down to that forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan diving up with a flat back. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, you can lift up that right foot, or if you're ready for a little bit more, extend that right leg. Twisting open to the right. Right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale, back to center. Replace the right leg down. Coming up on the left toes, bending that left knee, bringing it towards your chest, or even extending that left leg. Twisting open to the left. Right arm is forward, left arm is back. Inhale back to center, replace the foot. Exhale, swan diving down to that forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold. Plant the hands and either jump step or walk the feet back to plank. And either on your knees or on your toes, we'll slowly lower ourselves down to the ground, Chaturanga Dandasana, keeping our elbows into our sides. Coming all the way to the ground here. And pressing into the hands, you can either lift yourself up slightly for baby cobra. Press fully into the hands, lifting your chest for cobra, or even lifting your knees for up dog. And then flipping the toes, coming into downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here in this first down dog. Getting ourselves comfortable. Anytime that you need to, you're welcome to come to downward facing dog or place your knees on the ground to come to child's pose. So your resting options. And we'll lift that right leg up high to the sky for three-legged down dog, keeping our hips square to the mat here. We'll bring the right knee in towards the nose, looking forward between the hands. We'll step that right foot forward, coming into low lunge here. You can use your hand if your foot doesn't make it all the way. Bending into that left knee, we'll sweep the arms up as we come into Crescent Lunge. And once our torso is straight up and down, we can start straightening that left knee here. And slowly we're going to start lifting our sternum up towards the sky, tucking our chin back, coming into a back bend. And we can cactus our arms, squeezing our shoulder blades together, coming into a cactus back bend here. Arms reach up as we center ourselves, coming into Crescent Lunge again. Our hands will come behind our backs and clasp. And we're going to ground into that right foot. So go ahead and lift those right toes. Feel that right foot press into all four corners of that right foot, press into the mat. And replace your right toes. You can take a baby step in with your left foot if you need to. And then very slowly we'll begin lifting that left leg, kicking out through that left heel, coming into Warrior Three with bound arms here. Kicking out through that left heel, squeezing the thighs together. And slowly we'll bring our hands down to frame that right foot, coming into standing split. And our right foot will come next to our left, coming into forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold. Plant the hands and either jump step or walk your feet to the back of the mat. And you're welcome to lift your hips directly to down dog or take a vinyasa here. And slowly we'll begin lifting the left leg up high to the sky for three-legged down dog, making sure we're keeping our hips square to the mat. We'll bring the left knee in towards the nose, looking forward between the hands. We'll slowly step the left foot forward, using your hands if it doesn't make it all the way. Coming into runner's lunge here, we'll bend into the right knee as we lift our arms up to the sky for crescent lunge. Once our torso is straight up and down, we can start straightening that right leg behind us. And we'll begin lifting our sternum up towards the sky, tucking our chin back, taking a little back bend here, cactusing our arms. Squeezing our shoulder blades together. And arms will reach up, coming back to that crescent lunge. We're going to bring our hands behind our back and try and clasp them the awkward way, the way that you didn't clasp them last time. Ground into that left foot here. Pick up the left toes. Feel all four corners of the left foot pressing into the mat. And replace the left toes. You can take a baby step in with your right foot, and slowly you'll begin lifting that right foot behind you, coming into warrior three, kicking out through that right heel. Trying to keep your hips even and level, squeezing your legs together. And very slowly we'll start bringing our hands down to the ground to frame that left foot, kicking the right foot up to the sky for standing split. And bringing the right foot to meet the left for forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold. Plant the hands and either jump, step, or walk the feet to the back of the mat. And you can lift your hips directly to down dog or take a vinyasa. And we'll take a breath here in down dog, so feel free to stay here. If you need a little break, you can drop your knees to child's pose. And move to the other side of the mat so it's a little easier for you to see me. And if you're in child's pose, go ahead and lift your hips up to downward facing dog. And we'll lift that right leg up high to the sky for three-legged down dog. Bring the right knee in towards the nose, looking forward between the hands. We'll step the right foot forward, using our hands if it doesn't make it all the way there. And we'll pivot that left foot so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. As we cartwheel our hands up and open, coming into warrior two. Taking a moment to check our alignment here, making sure we're pressing equally into both legs, rotating the thighs outward, torso is straight up and down, arms roll back and down. And we'll flip the right palm and reverse our warrior here. Reaching out long through those right fingertips, reaching that arm up and over our ear. And we'll open back up into warrior two. We'll cartwheel the hands down like we're coming into runner's lunge. We'll plant the left hand, sweep the right arm open as we twist to the right, coming into easy twist. Pivoting that left foot once again and opening ourselves back up into warrior two. We're going to fly the warrior over to the other side. Arms come together, right foot pivots, so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Left foot pivots as we open up to warrior two on the left. And we'll reverse our warrior here, reaching out through those left fingertips, reaching out over our ear. Opening back into warrior two. Our hands are going to come down to cartwheel down to frame that left foot, except our left hand is going to reach up, coming into easy twist. Shoulders are stacked here, right hand is placed against the mat. Pivot that right foot so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat as you cartwheel your arms open to warrior two on that left side once again. We're going to fly our warrior, so straighten that left leg, arms come up, left foot pivots so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat, right foot pivots so it's parallel to the long edge of the mat, coming into warrior two on the right hand side. Hands will come down to frame the foot like we're coming to runner's lunge, but we'll lift that right arm up to the sky, coming into easy twist. And left foot will pivot as we cartwheel our arms open into warrior two once again. And we'll reverse our warrior here. Right arm comes up and over our ear. Opening back up to warrior two. We're going to fly our warrior over to the other side. Right foot pivots, so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Left foot pivots, so it's parallel to the long edge. Opening up to warrior two on the left. Reversing our warrior here. Opening back to warrior two. Cartwheeling our hands down to frame that foot. Right hand places. Left arm reaches up for easy twist. And pivoting that right foot, opening back up into warrior two. Reversing our warrior here. Reaching out long through those left fingertips. Come back to warrior two. We'll fly our warrior to the front one last time. Opening up to warrior two to the right. Cartwheeling our hands down to frame the foot. Stepping the right foot back. Either lifting your hips directly to downward facing dog or taking a vinyasa here. And we'll take a few breaths in down dog. So if you need to go to child's pose to rest, you're welcome to. And if you were in child's pose, go ahead and lift your hips up to downward facing dog. And slowly we're going to start bending into the knees, bending as deeply as we can as we look forward between the hands. And slowly jump yourself forward to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold here. Halfway lift. Forward fold, and hips will stay low as our arms come up high, coming into chair pose. Belly button squeezes into your spine, sitting back like we're sitting in an imaginary chair. Our hands will come to prayer, and we're going to twist to the right. So our left elbow is going to come outside of our right thigh, twisting open to the right here. And look down at your feet. You'll be looking at your toes and start to ground into that right foot as you very gently start to come up on the left toes and lift the left heel towards the glute. And slowly hover that left leg out behind you. Hover it as long as you can before dropping it down, coming into Crescent Lunge here. And we'll bring our left hand inside of our right foot as we sweep our right arm up to the sky for easy twist. We're going to come over on the blade edge of the left foot and step the right leg back to side plank. If you need to, you can lower your left knee down on the ground. Into side plank here. And we'll pivot to regular plank, landing that right hand. Taking a vinyasa or going directly to downward facing dog. And we'll lift that left leg up to, we will look forward between the hands. We'll bend deeply into the knees and we'll rocket ourselves forward with a jump. Come to halfway lift, forward fold. Hips will stay low, arms come up high as we come into chair pose. Squeezing that belly button into our spine, sitting deeply into the hips. Hands will come to prayer and we'll twist over to the left this time. Hooking our right elbow outside of our left thigh. Pressing into the hands, keeping ourselves nice and lifted here. And then we'll look down at our toes, looking forward here, grounding into that left foot. We'll bring the right heel up towards our glute. And slowly hover that right leg out, Hovering it as long as we can before dropping it down, coming into twisted prayer lunge here. And we'll bring that right hand down inside of the left foot, reaching the left arm up high to the sky for easy twist. Coming onto the blade edge of that right foot, we will bring the left foot back, coming to side plank here. And we'll bring our left hand down, coming into plank, and either lift your hips directly to downward facing dog or take a vinyasa. And we're going to do that sequence one more time. So now that you know where we're going, it might be a little easier to get there, and also you can get a little fancier with your side plank this time. So looking forward between the hands, bend into the knees as much as you can, and rocket yourself forward to that forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold, and hips stay low as arms come up high, coming into chair pose. Our hands will come to prayer. We'll twist to the right, hooking that left elbow outside of the right leg. Look forward at your feet. It really, really helps your balance a lot if you look forward. Ground into that right foot. And slowly start to bring the left heel in towards your glute. And very slowly extend that left leg out, covering it if you can, before dropping it down, coming to twisted crescent lunge. Our left hand will place inside our right foot. Right arm will reach up to the sky. If you need to, you're welcome to drop your left knee and step your right leg back to side plank. Or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, reach up long through those right fingertips, come over onto the blade edge of the left foot, and step the right leg back. Now, as I said, you can drop your left knee for a side plank. You can stagger your feet, you can stack your feet, or this will be the last time we do side plank, so if you want to get a little fancy with it, maybe do a tree side plank. And hand will come back down as we come to plank, and take a vinyasa or go directly to downward facing dog. Looking forward between the hands, we'll bend deeply into the knees and rocket ourselves forward. Halfway lift, forward fold. Hips will stay low as our arms come up high, coming into chair pose. Hands will come to prayer, and we'll twist over to the left, hooking that right elbow outside of the left leg here. Looking down at our toes, we'll ground into that left foot as we slowly start lifting that right heel up towards our glute, hovering that right leg out behind us before dropping it down to the ground, coming into twisted lunge, prayer twist. We'll bring that right hand inside the left foot, reaching the left arm up to the sky, coming into easy twist. And you can lower your right knee to the ground if you need to step back to side plank. Or if you want the challenge of reaching up through those left fingertips, come onto the blade edge of the right foot and step the left leg back to side plank. Once again, your right knee can be down, your feet can be staggered, stacked, or if you want to be a little fancier, you can come into tree side plank. Just do whatever is right for your body today. And we'll place our hand down, coming into plank, and taking one last vinyasa if you'd like to, or just going directly to downward facing dog. We're going to bend into the knees as we look forward between the hands, and one last time, we'll rocket ourselves forward, coming into forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold, and hips will stay low as our arms come up high, coming into chair pose one last time. And we're going to come down to a seated position. So if you want to, you can just sit down. Or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, come up on the toes and gently lower your hips. Slowly, 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 like you're sitting in the tiniest chair. before gently bringing yourself all the way down to the ground. And we will bring our legs out in front of us, and we'll bring our left leg in towards our groin. We'll twist our torsos over to the right. Arms will reach long, and slowly we'll bend over that right leg. Taking an inhale to find length, exhaling to draw your nose a little closer to your knee. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to extend a little deeper. And very slowly we'll roll ourselves up. We'll bring the right knee in towards our chest. We will wrap, the left knee in towards our chest. We'll wrap the right arm around that left knee. Left arm comes up and crosses and places behind us as we twist ourselves open to the left, sitting up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head. And slowly we'll come back to center. We'll extend that left leg out. We'll bring the right heel in towards the groin. We'll twist our torso, face our torso to the left foot. Arms reach up on an inhale, and as you exhale, drape yourself over that left leg. Taking a few breaths here, inhaling to find length in your spine, exhaling to draw your nose a little closer to your knee. Using your breath to draw yourself deeper into the stretch. And inhaling, draw yourself up. Bring that right knee in towards your chest. Wrap the left arm around the right knee. Right arm goes up and twist open to the right as you place that right arm behind you. Lifting up through the crown of the head. Using those arms to help you twist deeper, but making sure you're sitting up nice and tall here. Flexing that left foot, making sure you're keeping that left leg active. And we'll twist ourselves back to center. Extend both of those legs out long. And you're going to flex the feet here, sitting up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of your head. Arms come up above you, and we're going to slowly roll ourselves down with a C curve. So first our chin is going to go into our chest, and then slowly we're going to start rounding our spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling ourselves down. Extending out long, inhaling, and as we exhale, drawing our chin to our chest, and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, rounding our spine in that C curve to round ourselves up, coming up to seated, and then draping ourselves over those legs. Inhaling, coming up back long again, arms reaching over the head, feet are flexed here. And as you exhale, draw the chin into the chest, start rounding the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, as you roll yourself down to the mat. Keeping our belly button into our spine here. Taking an inhale, using the power of that exhale to bring yourself up, chin into your chest, slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. We roll up. Extend our arms up above our heads and fold over the legs. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, chin goes into chest. As we slowly pulling our belly button into our spine, rounding our spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, laying ourselves down onto the mat. Inhaling one more time, using that exhale to draw our chin to our chest, pulling our belly button into our spine, rolling ourselves up, coming up seated and extending over the legs. And one last roll down here. Arms reach up. Inhale, exhale, drawing the chin into your chest, rounding into that C curve. Slowly lowering yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae here. And coming flat on the mat. And we'll bring our fingertips behind our head. We'll bend our knees and bring our legs up to shelf here so that our shins are parallel to the floor. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, draw your head, neck, and shoulders up off the floor and bring your right elbow outside of that left knee. Extending the right leg out long here. Pulling your belly button into your spine. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left elbow outside of the right knee. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right elbow outside of left knee. Right leg goes out long. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twisting the other way. This is Yogi Bicycle, and you want to do it really slow so you feel it more. So you really engage all those core muscles, the abdominal muscles, and other muscles in the core. So very slowly. Making sure we're keeping our belly button pulled into our spine. And go ahead and even out your sides. And then we'll draw the knees into the chest, laying ourselves down. And go ahead and rock yourself from side to side a little bit. And extend those legs out long. Extend the arms up above your head. Give yourself a nice stretch here, a nice full body stretch. And we'll bring the knees into the chest. And we'll bring, we're gonna roll ourselves over onto the left side of the body, and we're gonna stack everything. So, ankles are stacked on top of each other, knees are stacked, hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, even arms are stacked. Arms are out long in front of us. And like a protractor here, you're gonna take that right hand and draw a line on the floor, like you're drawing a 180-degree angle here, opening yourself up, keeping that left arm pinned to the floor, drawing that line across the floor until you open the right arm all the way out to the other side. So your arms are in a T. Both of your shoulder blades are pinned against the ground. You can open, you can look to the right if your neck allows it here. This is just another way to get yourself into a supine twist. And very slowly, the same way we came into this twist, we're going to use our right arm to trace that half circle up and over our head along the floor, coming back until our right hand comes on top of our left once again. And slowly you're going to roll onto your back and roll over to the right side. Stacking yourself once again. Ankles are stacked, knees are bent at a 90-degree angle. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, arms are stacked out in front of each other. Your left arm is on top of your right. And very slowly taking the left fingertips across the floor. You're going to open yourself up like you're a protractor, and that left hand is drawing the circle, that half circle, 180-degree angle across the floor until it opens up and your arms are in the T. And if your neck allows it, you can look over to the left, making sure you're keeping both shoulder blades pinned to the floor here. And the same way we came in will come out, so that left hand will reverse the direction, drawing that half circle across the floor. Eventually the left hand will come to stack on the right once again. And we'll roll ourselves over out to our backs. Full body stretch if it feels good here. And slowly we'll start bending the knees, bringing the knees up. Bringing the knees in towards the armpits, either grabbing, our arms will come inside our legs and either grab the outside edges of the feet or take yogi toe hold here. And we'll come into happy baby. So we'll pull the knees in towards the armpits as we flex the feet towards the ceiling, pressing our tailbone into the mat here. And you're welcome to do whatever feels good to you in this happy baby. If you'd like to roll back and forth to massage the spine, you can. You're welcome to extend one leg. Bring that leg back in and extend the other. Extend both legs. You're welcome to rock back and forth a little here. Just do whatever feels good to you in this happy baby pose. And slowly we're going to lower our feet back down towards the ground. And take another full body stretch here if it feels good. And we're going to bend the knees, bring our feet bottoms together, and let our knees splay out wide, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, the butterfly on our back. And you can bring your arms up over your head. We'll take a few breaths here, letting gravity draw our knees towards the ground. And slowly you're going to draw your knees back up. And bring your arms back down by your sides. And bring the left foot out to the left corner of the mat. The right foot out to the right corner of your mat. We'll roll our shoulder blades under. And we'll begin letting our bodies relax into the mat for Shavasana. We'll take a few moments here to rest. Take a moment to be thankful for everything that your body did for you today. Take a moment to be thankful that you took this time out for yourself. If you set an intention for your practice, I invite you to come back to that intention now. Or if you dedicated your practice to someone, you're welcome to think about that as well. And just close your eyes and allow your body to release into the mat. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I wish you health and happiness. Namaste.